Hello, welcome to Advanced Broadcast Technology. I'm your host, Pallab Chatterjee. Today we're going to be continuing our coverage on the NAB2017 show, highlighting some of the new directions and infrastructure being put together for cloud-based broadcast, virtual reality, and advanced studio technology. We hope you enjoy the show.
So Andy, what do you find interesting in that business?
You know, now the business has changed so much. So many more companies are producing content for marketing, for advertising, for social media. So it's not just for broadcast or for films.
So what kind of trends do you see in the track business, music track business right now, currently?
Right now, currently, with all these production needs, social media with short 8-second social media clips, so cutting down a song into 8 seconds, where it's not just a clip of 8 seconds, it has to start, build, and then kind of slow down at the end, so it tells a story in 8 seconds. So shorter clips, and people want more variety of music available in different cuts, so they can cut little 8-second edits for social media and things. So
the market is changing. There is more, independent content creator. Do they understand what
yeah, they're in.
Do you work with many of them?
Yeah, it's really cool. We have a program called Killer Academy that starts with university students and gives them really great rates and explains licensing and what you're clear for, what is okay for the internet, what is okay for a film festival. So we try to educate, and we do very good rates for students. And education is a big part of the business, and we stand behind everything we do, so we make sure we explain to everyone and answer questions, and we're there. Pick up the phone and call us, and we're happy to help let them know what they're clear for and what they're not.
So what are you presenting this year at NAB?
This year at NAB, we just released 16 new albums last week, but we have a really new STEM editing tool called Score Addiction, and if you're not familiar, songs are made up of different instruments, and when we hear them played together, they're together. This new program separates the tracks, so you hear just strings, just percussion, just guitar, and you're able to mute each sound or decrease and increase the volume. So if you have someone speaking and say, oh, this song would be great if it didn't have the drum where someone's talking, you can now go in and click mute drum and save and download your own custom mix of the track. So that's the newest.
So do we have any demo for that?
Absolutely. I'd love to show you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming by, and it's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Here at NAB, we're showing a demonstration here with an interactive VR experience for our customers. It's a collaboration between Jaunt and Dell and 3D Live to bring the moving seats, which some of you may be familiar with the Lonely Whale experience that we did previously, and bringing those to life in a 360-degree video environment. As you can see, there's people in there now. It's an experience where you're doing free rock climbing, there's wind effects, there's movement effects, and it's really bringing that immersion of VR into life. Here at DellEMC, we're really looking at pushing the next level of VR in terms of commercial and gaming. We're seeing a lot of people now taking effects from the gaming industry, bringing those to life in a commercial environment, what we're calling the gamification of commercial enterprise for VR. Things like interactive training, things that you could take from a gaming experience, so where we've got interaction there, we can move things around, we can see objects. We can now take those same techniques and bring those alive into the commercial area for our customers so that they can really experience VR the way it was supposed to be.
At the press conference we hear about VR and actually Bloom and group, right? Yeah, a great entertainment. So, what is the direction that Harmonic is going in this VR? Is just for the event? Is that maybe other areas?
Oh, I think that VR is an emerging area. People are looking for the business case, but fundamental to it, and the reason why we've got a great collaboration with Blue Man Group is engaging content. I think that a lot of people are searching for that business application for VR to succeed. I myself love concert footage, museum type footage, the second screen type applications that people are looking to make broadcast brands sticky. And I think that in this context, VR has a lot to offer. It comes from a great application in terms of gaming, but in terms of what we're doing and what we were showcasing in terms of the press conference, is talking about engaging content that is used to open up people to the opportunities that VR type delivery and VR production gives, and basically extending the reach of broadcast services.
Thank you very much for your time
My
and
pleasure.
interview. Thank you.
This year at NAB we are excited to show two very new technologies I would like to show today. The first one is an extension of our existing EasyDCP tools, which now comes with QC, that means quality control for audio and video content. And I want to show you the workflow, how it works in EasyDCP. So, as you might know, EasyDCP is a software for digital cinema packaging as well as packaging for interoperable mastering packages. And as I said, we now support quality control. And what you basically have to do is you create a new project and give it a name. So let's go and say we create an IMF package with the Ep2 extended. That is usually what you create when you want to upload something to Netflix. You create the project and add some picture and sound files. And next I'm going to create the IMF package, and while I create the IMF package I'm going to apply some QC. We have a bunch of QC modules. They go to from picture shift to black part changes. They go over some interlacing modes as well as over and under exposure, and last but not least blocking, and they check if there is noise or freezes in the images. Once I generate the package, I can select if I want to apply my QC on the input or output, or on both the input and the output of the transcoding process. It's just some profiles that are used during the quality control process, and once I'm ready I can open the package together with the quality result in EasyDCP Player, which I will show you now. I'm going to open the package I just created and to show you how the QC report looks like. What you can see here is our visual timeline. It shows the image files and it shows the audio file, and we see the new timeline for the media quality. And what we can see here is that we have some red marks, and of course the red marks mean it detected something. So the quality report is we might have an issue here. And if I go to this specific section, I can see that we have a freeze here, so the software detects a freeze. And as you can see, the quality control can now be integrated into your existing workflows, that you just apply certain quality checks and you get the quality report that you can store together with the file in your archive, and so you know and you can see that there might be issues in your content. It's a new member in our EasyDCP family, which is called the EasyDCP Publisher. The EasyDCP Publisher is a software which works on a pay-as-you-go licensing model. That means you don't have to purchase the software, you purchase the result that the software produces, namely the digital cinema package that you want to upload or send to a film festival or to your local cinema. And what you need to use the publisher is basically an account at easydcp.com, as well as the software, which is available for download in the web shop. And once you have it and you install the software, which is available for Mac and Windows, you get to this login dialog. So provide your username and a password and just log in. I step over to this side, and then you may want to create a new project. Provide a name, and you get to the main user interface. And at the bottom of the user interface, we see the basic publisher workflow, which is compose your DCP, preview the DCP, and then publish the DCP. And here's how it works. First, you pick content on your hard drive, like image and sound data, and you drag and drop it into a composition playlist, a CPL, like this. And then that's all you have to do, and you're ready to create the preview DCP. And once this project finished, I already have the DCP that I can preview on the same hardware I created it. So this is the DCP, and of course I can play it back and check if all my audio and video and subtitle files are in sync. So let's assume I am happy with the result. I now want to publish it, which means I want to have a version that I can really send to a partner or to a film festival or to a local cinema. Then I click the publish button, which brings me to a process where I connect to the web shop, go through the purchasing process before it gets back to the software, which then creates the DCP that I can share with other people. And of course, as a last step, after I publish the DCP, I'm able to preview it in the EasyDCP publisher.
So what we are doing here is we want to provide a new immersive experience of real objects. The 360-degree panorama is well known, but you cannot move. The scene doesn't change if you move your head, for instance. Okay, so we demonstrate here a new technology to provide a better virtual reality experience of natural content and images. And we want to extend the 360-degree VR experience that we all know in such a way that the world is changing if you change your head to get a better 3D experience. And to this end, we capture a scene by a light field camera array. So there are multiple cameras in a rig, and this allows us to represent different perspectives. And we have some new plugins that are specifically tailored to process this data, to improve its quality, and at the end to export it to Unreal Engine, such that you can enjoy the light field in a head-mounted display experience. And this is what we are showing here. So on the right side, you see the new plugins that we use to edit. And I can give you a rough idea how this looks like. So what you see here is on a monitor is the representation of the two images that you see in the head-mounted display. And you can see that when I'm moving the head-mounted display, the object is moving accordingly. And we also have some capability to change the illumination and the lighting to really be able to interact with the scene.
Thank you for introducing the variety of the new product at the press conference. So what is the area that you are the most proud of, the product?
I think the two things we highlighted today, the virtualization products that we are launching for the broadcast segment, and then the new products for the in-stadium experience, which we are really, really proud of.
Yeah, many, the other speaker before, not from your company, but from the other, also mentioned virtualization as the biggest trend that is going to be developed in the next 3 years. You think it will be?
Yeah, and I think we are in a fantastic position to benefit from it, because we're a software company, and one of the key, for true virtualization, you need to have the entire workflow software. You need to be in all software workflow, and that's what our strategy has been over the last years to build out our product portfolio with the bits and pieces missing in terms of software, to have full end-to-end workflow where our customers can create or enhance content in a complete virtualized environment, either ground-based or in the cloud.
But it seems that you also collaborate with many companies to make.
Yeah, we are firm believers of being part of something greater than being the sole owner of something small. So we're an open company, and we are collaborating with the ones that the industry wants us to collaborate with, and wants to collaborate with us, which it takes two to tango.
So the virtualization will be next things. What other trends that would you like highlight?
We love the in-stadium experience, so we've launched a product called ClickFX Prime for in-stadium. The in-stadium experience are just getting better and better, more and more screens, larger screens, more resolution. So we're just trying to make sure we have the software that we can support our customers for them to create fantastic experience in the stadiums.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
So thank you very much for the press conference, very informative. So would you say that virtualization will be the next thing for the...
I think it's absolutely inevitable. I think if we are not doing this, if we're not using the technologies that's out there, outside of our industry, we're dinosaurs, and that didn't work out too well for them. There's, as I said, it's inevitable, it's absolutely happening. How fast people will throw out their ground-based iron and run everything in a virtualized, potentially cloud-based environment, it might take time. But the key message for this show from us, and probably from a couple of other companies as well, is that it's not a thing for the future. It's here today, it exists, it works. There are still things to figure out, but an end-to-end production workflow exists, and it works in a virtualized production environment. And I'm absolutely sure that there are lots of use cases already today where we're going to see people buying into these solutions.
And the other buzzword, of course, VR. And you just mentioned a little about the VR. Do you see that coming also very strong for the broadcast industry?
I think so. I think VR is a broad term. I think we need to split in between virtual graphics and augmented graphics, like a virtual set. That's something that we are heavily invested into and do a lot of things around. And then you have VR as an immersive experience, with a headset and all these things. We're not doing too much in that space as of yet. I think it's very interesting. I think especially around, gaming, and there might be sport experience that might be very interesting using a virtual reality approach. I think it's I think it's interesting. We're more focused on the virtual graphics and that side of things, but absolutely there will be tons of really interesting things here at the show, I'm sure.
TV Globo is a long-time partner of Sony. Their recent production of Carnival is another great example of the combined power of 4K, IP, and HDR. And at the end of the presentation, you will see exceptional video from Carnival. Thank you, Raimundo. Here in the States, Sony is working closely with Telemundo as they build a state-of-the-art IP facility in Miami. NBC Sports also built a 4K IP studio using Sony HDC 4300 cameras, an XVS 8000 switcher, and ELC automation. Sony's IP production products integrate seamlessly into existing STI infrastructures, allowing for resource sharing, increased efficiency, and scalability. Today, Sony switchers, studio cameras, and servers are IP capable and will support future IP standards. Customers can now build an end-to-end IP control room exclusively around Sony products or have them integrated with third-party IP products. To help ensure IP compatibility, Sony is working with industry leaders on various technology committees to bring IP standards to market. Sony will support all proposed IP standards that the market adapts, including SMPTE ST2110. We are working with an increasing number of IP Live Alliance partners. Our final pillar is media solutions. We've made great strides in helping our customers find efficiencies in every aspect of their business. We now have the ability to customize and automate workflows. We have the tools that enable location-free collaboration and the flexibility to stream files very efficiently. Our workflow media management options include NavigatorX, Media Backbone Hive, and ODA Gen 2. Each works with third-party applications for seamless, easy operations. Let's start with NavigatorX. NavigatorX orchestrates every phase of the workflow without the high costs and complexities of traditional MAM systems. Using HTML5 apps, customers can quickly organize, manage, and search for content across multiple locations. NavigatorX's intuitive plug-in architecture easily adapts to changing workflows. Companies across multiple segments are adopting this solution, most recently NBC Rowe, Full Sail University, and Wells Fargo. Let's hear from Wells Fargo on how NavigatorX is enhancing their workflow.
The faster we can move the product, the happier our end customer is. We bring in a great deal of video on a daily basis, and having the ability to catalog it all in one spot, to access it from either of our offices, and to integrate it immediately and edit it is extremely attractive to us. Given the investment we have in acquiring the video and processing it and cataloging it, NavigatorX becomes one of the most important parts of our edit process. The ability to do a federated search across all of our assets, to be able to find elements, whether they are in spinning drives, whether they are in nearline storage or on the shelf, is vitally important to us. NavigatorX offers all of these things to us.
Thank you, Nathan. He's here with us today. Appreciate it. Further enhancing speed to air is the award-winning media backbone Hive network production system. Hive's hyper-converged node and microservices architecture, combined with powerful HTML5 tools, enables extreme scalability, reliability, and flexibility. With features like web-based proxy and field editing, Hive gives broadcasters the advantage of being able to deliver content faster to multiple platforms.
So when people look at those technology and this kind of content, we're seeing new kind of content. And actually, I have a quote. You need to help me, Deborah, or the other people here. But we can't put a name on what we see now being done with the engine. So the news at the show is that we have our partners who have selected our technology to power their solution. I encourage you to go to the VizRT booth where you'll see Unreal Engine integrated with this engine. It was done also with the help of our friends from NCAM. And there are fantastic AR demo on the booth that you can see and how you can take broadcast graphics to the next level. Also our friends from Zero Density, similarly, they released last year Reality 1. They're introducing Reality 2.0 at the show with support from ATR and 4K Ultra HD. The picture that you see here is a bit of actuality. This is actually the set that was used last night on French television to announce the result of the French election. This is a highly realistic rendition of the actual our Oval Office, if you wish, from the US, the office of the President of the French Republic. So the company Dreamwall out of Belgium. And finally, Ross Video is introducing today at the show Frontier by the Future Group. So with this being said, I would like to introduce you to Michael Hay. Michael is the Director of Cinematics and is going to present to you our human race internal project.
Thanks, Mark. So we're going to talk a little bit about the human race. The human race was a project that we did for GDC, and what we sought out to do was create an interactive piece of content that is like it's never been done before. So super high fidelity rendering, all done in real time and all dynamic. So we'll take a look here. We have the login screen for it. This was a very tight collaboration with both the mill and Chevrolet.
Lose you've won so many times in your career. Monaco in 09, for example. How do you do it, man? Well, you know what? There's always a way to win. There's always a way through. Lewis is going to be the first human ever to race a car operated by artificial intelligence. Let's meet the competition. Aja.
Hello, gentlemen. In my simulations, I have beaten Lewis 148,623 times.
And how many real races have you won, Aja?
This will be the first. Well done, Lewis. But our race has just begun.
So every car that was rendered in there was all being done in real time. So it means that includes both the exterior and the interior. And so we're doing full compositing inside the engine. And that means undistorting the background plate, compositing the cars, and then redistorting the background to full composites. So for those of you who don't know, the Mill is a visual effects company, and they specialize in doing very high-end car commercials. It's a large part of their business. So they built this very cool vehicle. It's called the Blackbird. So you can see here it's got a bunch of tracking markers on it. On top it's got a camera rig. So they use this to shoot a car commercial because it allows them to shoot the car, track the car, but not actually have to have the actual car there. For a couple reasons you might not want to do that. One, for security, you don't want to bring any car out on the road. So they created this new product called Cyclops. The Cyclops will allow them to view this in real time. So this is a quick segment here that talks a little bit about the Blackbird. So we basically take on the characteristics of other cars. It allows them to shoot something that looks very cool and it behaves like a normal car and land with a CG car on top. So it can take on the characteristics of, in that case, of the Mustang. So it's very versatile. You can easily move it around and shoot it in different locations. And they came to us and said, can we use the engine to do all this in real time? So when we're shooting it, we're not shooting just the Blackbird, we're actually seeing the result. And all the stuff that we're seeing here has all been rendered traditionally. So you have renders that take hours, days, weeks, and full composites and huge pipelines. And all that's about to change with Cyclops in the Unreal Engine. So Cyclops is, kind of the most basic form, is a 360-degree capture that was captured by the camera and tracking for the car, as well as the loading of the image plane in the background, the actual live action. So you saw the camera rig on top of the car. It's basically 4 red cameras that are capturing at 24 frames a second, a 360-degree view. We use that to light the car and to provide the reflections for the car. So the interesting part about doing this live is that all these need to be stitched live and then sent to the Unreal Engine to be rendered live. Kind of turn on so quickly. All right, so another piece of this is doing photorealistic cars. And the engine excels at doing photorealism. But in order to do that, you have to take a lot of very, very registered photos, very calculated reference. So we're going to do a little game that I used to do during the LAs, which is real or unreal. So one of these is from reference shoot, and the other one is rendered live in the engine. In this case, it's one on the left is rendered live in the engine, and on the right is the actual photo shoot. Same thing here, let's go through these. The right is actually rendered in the engine. This last one is kind of the left. So this all looks kind of straightforward, but there are a lot of things that we have to put in the engine. So you have FFT balloons for very photoreal kind of camera properties, distortion, bend normals, and a whole host of other things. And all these things are coming into the engine as